Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Kyle from the TF Review, and today we're going to be taking a look at MP07. This is, of course, Masterpiece Decepticon Starscream. Now, this is the 2015 release, and we can see in terms of the packaging, it's pretty much exactly like all the other Masterpieces we've gotten within the past couple years. The Autobots are in red boxes, and the Decepticons are in blue. Of course, we have the standard slipcover. We've got Masterpiece Starscream right there in both his robot and jet mode. Starscream on the bottom, the Transformers logo, the Decepticon logo. You've got the Japanese symbols right there. On this side, it gives you a great bio of Starscream, so feel free to take a look. On the back, we have more images of Starscream showing off his display stand. And again, another picture of him in robot mode. And on this side, of course, it's the continuation of the Decepticon logo. One little quick change they've done to the packaging, which I kind of like, is that the slipcovers are no longer loose. They're actually plugged into the box, so you cannot remove them without completely taking these off, which is fine because the box opens from the side anyway. But I do like that these are now locked into place. So once we've got Starscream out of the box, no, he is not floating in midair. He is actually wrapped in this nice thick plastic protective casing. We can see we've got his stand, some missiles, and Starscream himself, which is all just kind of snugged in there nice and tight. Starting with the display stand, it is pretty basic. You've got Starscream done in a nice silver font, and of course you have his Decepticon logo, and nothing really done on the bottom. If you wanted to, you can take his missiles, and you can just peg them on like that. And that makes for some nice missile storage when you're not using them. Also, if you want to, you can take this out and you get a few more little accessories. You comes with a nice little fighter pilot that fits right into his cockpit. And this piece, and I haven't quite figured out what this piece is for, but I'm sure by the end of the review I will know what it is. Lastly, in that little bag, you get this attachment piece. And this is for if you want to peg it into jet mode, you would just attach it along the bottom like that. Or if you wanted to use this and display him in robot mode, you can just take it and slide it in like that, and he'll just hang down at the front like that. And that's perfectly fine. I actually really dig that. And since we're already in jet mode, I figured I'll show you guys just how to display it in jet mode. It is a bit tricky. You just want to take the jet mode. You want to look for this piece right here, this little peg, this one right here, and it just fits into this little hole right here, which is kind of done. And you need to do it in a way, you should probably also put down the landing gear as well to get that out of the way. And it just kind of locks into place. It's not the greatest connection, and it is a bit nerve-wracking when you're doing it, but when you get it in, finally, it is definitely a firm connection. Just as long as you're not shaking it around too much, it should be fine. And that looks awesome. That looks insanely awesome, actually. And of course, if you wanted to go a little bit further, you can open this cockpit, add the little fighter pilot jet guy, and there you go. That looks so sweet. Now, while we're in jet mode, I think I will go ahead and show off a couple more features. I already showed off the cockpit mode, which is awesome. You also do get really detailed landing gear, which is down here. And to access that, you do need to fold out this little panel. And it's not good if you don't have any nails, so you're probably going to need something pointy to fold the landing gear off. And be careful because the nose does like to bend. And at the back, he has 2 more feet landing gears, and these just simply fold out like that. Fold out. Fold out, and now he's got more of a proper looking jet mode. Another nice detail is up here in the front. Fold the nose cone back, and you can see he's got, I don't know what these are called, it's not a firewall, I know for that a fact, but it's a jet detail, and it looks awesome. Also, in the front, you have this thing, which is amazing. I love playing with this. I believe this is used to help it slow down. I don't know what it's called, but it's there, and it's really nice. On the back, The thrusters are articulated. They can move. You just have to be careful. They're on a ball joint, I believe. And that is that as well. I believe that's it for all the extra kind of nods to jets in this mode. So what we can do now is go ahead and transform him. It looks like the fighter pilot's having a bad time in there. And we can take a look at Starscream in his robot mode. So this Starscream figure does share the transformation of the newer Takara Seeker mold. So it's a little bit different than the original one. But I can go ahead and show that to you. I'm a little bit nervous about showing this transformation. It is kind of finicky, if you can't already tell. So, well, without further ado, let's do this. How I like to start it is I like to unpeg the attached null rays. And to be completely honest, I know these things, a lot of people are either hit or miss on this mold because of these null rays. For the sake of transformation ease, I will just remove them completely. And they do help when they're out of the way. So, and I'll just take these and put these to the side. They're just on ball joints, so you're not going to break it or anything, as long as you're careful. And to be honest, without the null rays, the jet mode just looks that much more sleek and that much better, honestly. So if you wanted to, you could file these down and then, you know, make them look like that, and that looks perfectly fine. It looks hella sexy. Next up, we can worry about the legs. And to transform the legs, we want to fold these back. We also want to unpeg this back piece right here. And now we can slide his legs down. And there's one leg. And there's two legs. Now, it's very, very, very important where you hold it. I like to just hold it right there and pull it back. Otherwise, you might risk ripping this thing in two. Then for his feet, we take these little silver blue pieces, these metallic blue pieces, fold them out, flip them around, and those will form his feet. And we're basically done with his legs. We can worry about these a little bit later. Next up are his arms. And we can start with his arms by just really loosening them up. Doing the same to this side. And loosening that up. Next thing we want to do is worry about this little piece right here. And this will form sort of his ab area. We just need to make sure that they are not attached anymore. And then we kind of have to do like a little swivel spin move downwards. Let's see if I can get this. There's one part. There we go. Alright, and then do the same on this side. Like that. Boom. And there you go, and that's all you need to do. Next up, we can also push this piece up. And now we can flip the head out. And it's a real hard slot. Like the head barely fits, so you do need to hold on to it while you're sliding it through. Like that. And now the nose cone is out. So now we can go ahead and rip this into multiple pieces. And slide the nose cone through the body. And get that out of the way for now. Now we want to take this nose cone piece, right? And then we need to open the cockpit, and this just folds so that the front and the firewall is now flush. The cockpit closes, and we are almost there. Then we need to fold these pieces, which his arms are connected to, down. I like to think of them as his robo nipples. And you'll notice he'll start to slide and compress like that. We are almost there, guys. I apologize if this has been hard to watch because I'm absolutely struggling. Then we can fold his hands out. And his thumbs, they're kind of like hidden. Do the same thing on this side, fold his hands out, and his thumbs, get them out. And we are almost there. Then we can take his wings. And they just want to fold out like that. Then you can go ahead and fold them up. Now, this is something that I'm having a lot of issues with. These pegs right here, these ones right here, basically every time you move a wing, the wing is going to pop off completely. And I'm very nervous that this is going to break. So when you are transforming them, be sure to be careful, because it's a very, very fragile joint. So the only way to really do it is to flip the peg up while the wing is not attached, and to just attach the wing like this. Alright, and there we go. So that's one wing. Well, it was one wing. Yeah, this is pretty horrible, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why they couldn't have done like a normal peg, like a normal joint. Alright, I think that's about as good as we're gonna get it. So, there's that. Now we got to do the same thing with this side and hope that the wing does not break off. So we need to fold it up. Fold it up and be very careful, and we're good. So now we can go ahead and compress the wings. We also want to take these flaps. I like to fold them back because it just makes him look so much meaner. And we can also slide his wings up. His rear wings up. And that'll help with his feet articulation. Alright, and we are basically done. There is Masterpiece Starscream. That wasn't hard enough, I don't know what is. Now the figure itself looks absolutely gorgeous. The metallic blue paint finish that they used for all of his blue bits just looks completely stunning. The articulation is good. The proportions are really good. The wings look mean, except they do pop off all the time, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Just brace yourselves. I mean, he just looks insanely nice. Now, we did remove these null rays, and we can go ahead and put them back on. What I like to do is fold them up like this, so that it's just a ball joint, and then reattach it through the ball joint. There's one. Alright. Whew, finally. So, if you're not a fan of the null rays being on those weird hinges, you can just kind of collapse them and point them, and they look fine, honestly. They're not like intrusive like they are in the jet mode. They're just kind of hanging out. And again, for show accuracy, that is fine. And he likes to point at things. Also, if you want to, you can take his missiles from earlier, and these will just peg back here, and his wings will fall off. And you can peg the missiles onto the wings. And do the same on this side. If you just want to arm them up just a little bit more, make them look a little more mean. And figure out what the hell is wrong with this joint. Alright. Now that that's all done, for articulation, he does have quite a bit. His head is on a real nice ball joint, very, very emotive. I don't know why his face is so dark. I think his face is a little bit darker than it needs to be. His wings can articulate and fall off. His arms are on a ratcheted joint, and they can rotate 360 degrees, move in and out. They have a double joint at the arm, which is really pretty. His hands are done in 3 different joints. He's got one for the thumb, one for the index finger, and then for the rest of the other 3 fingers. That's all one piece as well. He doesn't have a waist swivel. Unfortunately, that would have been amazing. His legs are on ball joints. They can move in and out, forward and back. The skirts do move out of the way, which is great. He's got an upper thigh swivel. Does he have an upper bicep swivel? He has an upper bicep swivel too, which I missed. His legs are on a real tight joint, and he has no feet articulation. In fact, his feet are pretty bad, like almost wind blade bad. So you do need to finnick or fiddle around with him if you do want to stand him in a nice mean pose. Or you can take his Segway display stand and set it up into robot display mode, which is that. And when you're not fighting with his wings, There is a peg right in his butt, right there. And voila. Now you don't want to shake it around too much, but it does hold, and it holds real nice. So assuming the wings aren't falling off, you got yourself a pretty mean Starscream display there. And that is a thing. And that's also basically there is to say about Starscream. He does have a few more features. For example, his chest pieces do flip up to reveal he's got 12 nipples, and that's almost 10 nipples too many. His null rays are completely posable. If you wanted to fold them out like that, you can, and have them point in any different direction, but that's kind of dumb. His wings are posable. They can fold out, which again makes him look a little more menacing, a little more evil. He doesn't have any light piping, which is a bit of a disappointment. I wish he did. And that's basically it. This is Masterpiece Starscream. Since I was a little kid, well, not since I was a little kid, but since the original Walmart exclusive Masterpiece Starscream figure came out, I have wanted this toy. And I know the molds have changed over time. I know that this is using the more recent Takara mold. I know it's not the same toy as the Walmart one. But to me, this is the Masterpiece Starscream that I have wanted since I first laid eyes on the figure. Now, it does have a few issues. Of course, if you're not a fan of the null rays, that's with the null rays being constantly attached by two ball joints and really trying to have to fight them most of the time, that's a thing. Also, the wing joints, having them pop off so of course, now it doesn't want to pop off, but having these just pop off really easily is annoying, and can ruin the fun just a little bit. But apart from those two issues, I think this is a great figure, and I would absolutely recommend picking this guy up if you're able to find him at your Toys R Us. And he does retail for $59.99 currently, and he is currently available for pre-order on ToysRUs.com. So, that does it for this review of Masterpiece Starscream. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, like, share, do all that jazz, and I've got more videos in the works. So again, thank you so much, and I will see you all in the next video.